God! Now, historically, the Assassin's Creed series is focused more on stealth combat, but for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it is a whole new game focusing much more on visceral, brutal melee combat, because after all, Vikings are more known for going berserk than they are for tiptoeing around. Joining me is Ubisoft's lead system designer, Marc-Antoine Pietri, to give me some pointers on some of Eivor's brand new skills for Valhalla. This video is presented by Assassin's Creed Valhalla, available November 10th on Xbox Series X, Series S, and Xbox One. It's optimized for Xbox Series X, which includes support for 4K resolution at 60 frames a second, and it leverages smart delivery, allowing access to both the Xbox One title and Xbox Series X title when available. Now let's check out a video game.
God won't let us lose. Give me a spear!
Now, right now I'm just using a one-handed axe.
Yes.
What type of play style is that sort of best suited for? Is that a good kind of all-purpose?
It's cool if you like to block, basically. So I think if you're more like aggressive style, I think you could switch to like having a different weapon in your left hand. You might want to check your skill tree, because that's something you can upgrade at any point.
Yeah, let's do that.
This one's super useful in the midst of the fight. It allows you to swap your weapons. Like, I would be curious to see your inventory as well. I haven't seen it. Like,
sure.
You have a hammer? Oh, you have a hammer. Okay, interesting. Might want to try that. Okay, so now just hold your left bumper.
Oh, this hammer is brutal.
Okay, so this, you see, it's a special attack that actually consumes stamina. But it's also pretty deadly. Try to do that with the bearded axe that you have in your left hand.
Holy crap. That's a very easy kill right there.
Here, now that you went more in a berserk mode, don't hesitate to use special attack.
Oh yeah.
One of the things also, when you deplete completely the gauge of an enemy, there's a stun prompt that appears. I would recommend to use that. You're in for a treat.
Right, that guy is extremely dead.
So that's the finisher. Like when you do a stun attack, you're gonna get that type of finisher.
So that stomp attack, how do I make that happen? Do I just knock a guy down, or is it a stamina
exactly thing? For example, if you have a guy with a shield, if you do a heavy attack and you break his shield, you're going to be able to put him on ground and you can knock him. And the idea is we have different way of knocking enemy to ground. Like you can discover them during the game. Every time you're rewarded with this opening for the stomp.
What are these glowing spots on enemies?
So every enemy has weak points, but basically a weak point is super useful because if you shoot him, you completely deplete their defense gauge. And depleting their defense gauge make them completely open to a violent finisher. So it's a good way to end the fight faster.
So this little yellow gauge down in the corner, that's my special ability?
Yes, exactly. For now, you only have one token. Later in the game, you're going to unlock some more. It's going to allow you to start to stack, to launch some abilities in a row.
What's the quickest way to fill it up?
The best one is to kill enemies. Shooting weak points is a good stuff as well. You do some by parrying. It's really something where like every time you're active and you play well, you're going to be rewarded by adrenaline. But yeah, like kill people and I think it's going to work.
It's pretty straightforward.
Exactly. So Mark of Death is really cool if you encounter a lot of enemies, basically, because it's going to allow you to do like some serious damage to everything that's on your camera. It's just a question of time, like you have to be in a situation, let's say, where you have a bit of an opening so that you can start to charge and you can deal some brutal damage with that.
All right, so let's try that Mark of Death and see what we can get done here. Oh my. Yeah, okay. I can see how that is a useful approach.
We have like the Axe Fury, That's pretty cool to target enemies around outside of camera and let's say opening the fight. You might want to use the Axe Fury. It's very good in this type of location. You know, like a lot of enemies, but it's pretty narrow. It's a quick way, you know, to deal damage around you.
Oh, definitely got some mileage out of that.
The Russian Bash, if you want to try that, it's super useful. If you find, you know, some walls, some ledge, it really can deal massive damage to one enemy. So if you encounter an enemy, you feel like he has more health, like you're a bit struggling with him, it's a good way of fighting it.
I will make you feel pain.
All right, so here's our settlement. Tell me about it.
So yeah, the settlement is really your place. Basically, it's your home, is where your friends are, is where you also encounter some new adventure. Because sometimes there's people that are going to come to visit you and propose you some stuff. It's also the place that you want to grow, and there's a couple of buildings you can build, and it's going to unlock some service that you can use. So that's really sort of your hub. So you want to create some new buildings in your settlement with the wealth you've acquired?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So yeah, it's cool. Like the first thing you should do is maybe roam around and get familiar with the places and see where you want to spend your money well earned. Let's go talk to some people.
Our warriors now have a place to rest and train.
A fine shelter it is.
Oh, cool. These are my pals. These are my buddies.
Exactly. That's your pal, and you can customize it, let's say. And it's something you can actually send to your friends so they can fight the crew of your friends. So it's really it's a social feature. So here the idea is you can customize him in terms of gear, in terms of visual. You can create your raider, basically.
Oh, wow.
Depending on the weapons that you give him, he's going to fight differently. For example, you give them like 2 bearded axe, they're going to be way more aggressive. And it's one of the things that's interesting in your crew is like you start, you know, with some of your crew that you came with from Norway, but during the adventure, you're going to meet some new people, and if you do the right choice, they are going to be able to join your crew and to fight with you, like raid with you at some points. And you can also recruit the Yoms Viking of your friend. So that's another
cool.
Interesting addition to your crew that you can make. If you continue just a tiny bit in the settlement, I think you can go upgrade your gear.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. So there's 2 ways of upgrading your gear in the game. One way is by upgrading the quality, that's what you're doing right now. And the other way is more like stats upgrades. The quality is going to unlock you some new perks on your weapon. And at some point unlock you some slots where you can place some new perks.
And that can all be modified by getting new runes, I guess?
Exactly, yeah.
Where would I go to find new runes?
So you would go in locations, basically. You have to fight, and it's some of the loot that some enemies have that you can find in some chests.
Okay.
So it's really by exploring the world.
Oh, cool. Okay, so this is totally not going to help us in battle aside from just looking cooler.
Yes, exactly. But it's all about confidence, you know. So if you have the good tattoo, I guess you're more confident.
These are all extremely metal. I like it. Okay, that is elaborate. I like it.
See you later, Eivor.
See, I would love to find a combination barber tattoo artist. So this is looks like the boat stuff. Oh, there we go. Oh. Definitely want a scary ass boat. There. Now my boat is covered in skeletons. I'm into it. Huh. Wonder what that's all about. Weird little symbol there.
Yes, it's intriguing.
So that was a quick crash course on some of Assassin's Creed Valhalla's gnarliest new melee attacks and how to best put them to use when you're going medieval on this Dark Ages open world coming out later this fall. Of course, there are plenty more skills and weapons and playstyles and abilities and all sorts of ways you can utilize them, but really, Mark, thank you so much for giving me some pointers and helping me get in touch with my inner Viking. Once again, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be available November 10th on Xbox Series X, Series S, Xbox One, and is also, of course, optimized for Xbox Series X, and it leverages smart delivery, allowing access to both the Xbox One title and Xbox Series X title when available. Anyway, for everything else Assassin's Creed Valhalla, keep it right here on IGN.
Write your Viking saga on Xbox Series X.